computer, I guess. Yeah, so you've been working with your what was I just saying? You've been working with your
Workplace.
workplace. Yeah, yeah. Have you started working with that too, Sophia?
I posted something in there. But I do a lot of reading the like the little comments they be leaving, because they be asking people to do showings, they'll pay you to do it and stuff like that. So I was like, I mean, they don't really have, I didn't see nothing in my area, but I do keep a lookout on it for, opportunities like that,
Yeah. So what I would suggest is don't wait for a show one for one somebody to ask for one in your area. Post that you're willing to do it. Post who's who needs someone to do open houses for them, right? In your area, right? Post who is anyone here will allow me to share their listings on on social media, and then you can share the listings from your website. Copy the link at the top of the address bar, share it to your website. That same individual will probably be open to you doing an open house on one of their properties as well. You want to just start building relationships within EXP. So I don't necessarily post on workplace, but like as far as like posting like hey, I'm in this area of Pennsylvania or this area of Chicago, and if you got somebody relocating here, I don't really do that, right? I'm not really doing that. I'm doing more so, like, hey, can I share anyone's listings? Hey, does anyone need some showings done? Hey, can I do some open houses, right? And going to the MLS. So, Ambria, are you able to talk? I don't know if Ambria is able to talk, but Ambria, she
Hey,
okay,
I'm sorry. I am still at work.
okay, no problem.
I'm
Yeah, I could tell you your story a little bit. So Ambria kind of took my advice of she went to the MLS. She searched offices, EXP offices, right? You can search on your MLS not only the homes, but you can categorize it by offices that are homes that are listed by particular offices. She searched EXP, found a home that was listed by an EXP agent that she liked, right? And said, hey, inbox, like, hey, I see the home that's listed, beautiful home, etc. Right? Do you mind if I share this on a post on my social media, on my page? They say yes. Okay, that one, you came offering something to help try to advertise their listing. And then the other piece is, you came with not your hand out, but with something in your hand. So you just broke the ice right there. And then the next piece from that, after you share it, maybe the next day or something, hey, I got a few calls about it, etc. Do you allow agents to do an open house on it? I would love to do an open house there if there was an opportunity, right? And maybe they say yes, maybe they say no, maybe they leave you on red, right? So what? But when it's time for when they need somebody to do an open house, who are they going to think about? Right? They're gonna think about you if they got nobody else, because a lot of agents are not asking people to do their open houses. They're not. And that's a resource right there that they're selling themselves short on. They're thinking, oh, I got to go get a listing. I got to find a listing. Well, find an open house first. I sold a house for $500,000 from an open house. Door knocked the neighborhood. Got a referral out of it, right? So definitely take advantage of workplace, having the right tools, but using them effectively. It's not like workplace is not like Facebook. Even though it looks like Facebook, I don't use it the same way I use Facebook. Another way that I use workplace is I may go into the virtual world and find people that I need to find. Who's the head of this department? Who's the head of that department, right? And what are their names? And they tell me their name. I find them on workplace and I inbox them. right? And then for anyone that's gotten to the next level, maybe I think Ambria has already done this. The Op City leads, and Sophia, matter of fact, you say you getting your stuff straight with Op City. I know the thing blinks, right? It's notifications. You got to be the first to answer, and set up the other ones. Try to set up the other ones that I mentioned, the Redfin and the effective agents and the home light, etc. But they give you apps, right? I know Op City does, and I know Redfin does. They give you apps because they're like the ones that like you get the notifications. Shut the notifications off when you're not using them, because if you don't, then they will start to taper off how many they send you. Turn them on when you got your schedule set for prospecting, and while you're prospecting, now you turn them on and now you can answer them. Then when you're done prospecting, turn them back off, right? Which brings me to, and Sham, I see your hand up. I'm going to say one more thing, which brings me to another question or another topic I'll say is, if you haven't made a schedule for yourself, a daily schedule of when you're going to be able to work the business, this time of the day I have to do this time I have to, right? And then these are the hours I'll be able to work the business. If you have not done that, it's mandatory. It's not you should. I'm telling y'all, it's mandatory, especially in the beginning, because you gotta have discipline in any business. You gotta follow your schedule. I don't lead my day, my calendar on my phone. I use my phone. It leads my day. It tells me what I have to do. It tells me how much time I can dedicate to each activity. It tells me when I eat, when I need to sleep. When can I take a shower, right? Like, when can I go to the store? Like, everything is here. It's on my calendar. Okay, so Sharm, you got a question. You got your hand up?
I do, for amateurs like myself. So I ventured off to list with Cleaver, Op City and stuff, and they're not too friendly for amateurs. So what would you recommend for people like myself who have zero transactions and are, beginning to venture out into the world in terms of, soliciting those leads?
Yeah, did you do Op City already?
No, I did not, because when I went there, I think it was asking me how many transactions I have and stuff. If I'm not mistaken, it was requiring you to have had a certain. No, you said in the last meeting, I'm lying. You said in the last meeting that you have to have a certain amount of transaction for Op City. So I didn't. Redfin. Okay. And then I went to list with Cleaver, and it was asking for that as well. And it seems like it kind of favorites, more experienced people than it do people like myself.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I would say nothing hurts a failure but a try. That's what I've always been taught. Go for it anyway, right? Just go for it anyway. Fill it out. Do what you got to do. Get it done and see what happens, right? Op City, you have to contact your state broker. Your state broker will set you up on a program for Op City. Okay. So when we get into, okay, pass those lead generation platforms, right? And just send an email to your state broker and say, hey, I would like to be a part of the Op City program. That's all you have to do. Okay. State broker information should have been in your email, your getting started welcome emails. If not, you can always go into the state broker room in the virtual world, and there'll actually be a state broker there that you can talk to. What's the cool thing about it is our states have several managing brokers. I'm sorry, our states have several managing brokers, right? So the Op City program can be sent through, I believe your state, it has to be your state broker, not your managing broker. Yeah, but you can go into the world and talk to several managing brokers, and they can give you the information on who to contact or the state broker's email. Right. Usually it's like the state, like il.broker. or at exp.net or Pennsylvania or PEN or PN or something like that. But just make sure.
I have that list. Okay. Thanks.
All right, perfect, perfect. All right, so your next question was how to prospect and generate leads beyond the lead generation platforms. Okay, so it's not just about prospecting leads, it's about your schedule, right? Like that's why I always say go back to your schedule, right? So your schedule is going to really dictate what you have the ability to do. Because as you know, buyers, which are easier than sellers, right? Unless they're like warm market, friends and family, etc. But buyers are really like easier to get, to have them to work with. They're like, hey, yeah, I want to buy a house, get them over to a lender, and then from there, get them pre-approved and take them out and do a showing. Sellers are a little bit more difficult to prospect. So first, primarily, I'm looking at, okay, do I want to work with buyers or do I want to work with sellers? Now, not saying that it's going to be less time that you spend working on sellers, because you'll spend more time working with buyers, you'll spend more time working on sellers, if that makes sense, because it's easier to get the buyer, but now you got to take them to see all of these homes, and hopefully you can get them in 1 or 2 showings and get them under contract, or it might be 10, it might be 20, they might stretch out a little bit longer, but you can find them easier. But sellers, you might be doing a lot of prospecting in order to get the seller, right? And then the sellers aren't necessarily ready to sell right now. So sellers have to be nurtured, right? You want to keep in touch with them, follow up with them, send them a little material, check in, because they might be ready to, hey, come see the house. I want to sell it, but I don't want to sell it for another 5 months. Tell me what I need to do in order to get ready to sell it. I want to prep it. So sellers are more nurturing, but once you've got the seller, the listing, then now you got all these other realtors going to show the home, and you don't have to. You don't have to show it yourself, really. Unless you got some clients, and then you can do dual agency, and you can do both sides of the deal. So if there's a $15,000 check on the line and you got to split it halfway, but if you bring the buyer and you represent the seller, you do a dual agency, now you can keep the whole check. Okay. So where do you want to start, Sharm? Where do you want to start? Buyers, or you want to start with sellers? What does your time look like that you can put into the business per day?
Probably realistically more so buyers. My schedule really fluctuates. It's not predictable at all. It really depends on what's on my calendar or what pops up in the moment. So like, for example, last week, I had meetings all day, and then my first meeting that I hopped on, they canceled, and or meetings back to back all day. So what I did was, and I shared this with you, we have a lot of builders here in Port St. Lucie. So I just, got dressed and I went to a bunch of those builders, and I was like, hey, I wanted to know what models you guys have available, what your price points are, and try to see if I could get, some pamphlets from them. Nonetheless, I was at one of the, which was really my intent, to prospect some buyers who doesn't have an agent. I was at one of the builders, and there was a family there who didn't, who wasn't working with anyone. And we kind of, all chimed in on a conversation. We kind of hit it off from there. I learned that they were Jamaican like myself, so we really hit it off from there. And now they're my clients, so that was really a moment where, it was really spontaneous for me to go out and prospect. But there isn't like a set schedule for me. So that's really where I kind of, struggle. But I would definitely like to start with buyers first, because like you said, that's a sweet spot. That's usually the easier ones.
Okay. So Sharm, do you have any children?
I have 2. I have a 6-year-old, well, about to be 7-year-old, and about to be 1-year-old.
Okay, so sometimes your schedule may be sporadic due to having the kids, right? And you like, I can't really get up and go.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, so you want to use that time for prospecting when you can't really get up and go. And then the time where you can get up and go, that's when you're going to be working with the clients and actually showing them homes, etc.
Yeah.
And also that might be good if it's really sporadic as far as when you can actually get up and go. Then sellers might even be a good option, a great option, because then you can use that time to prospect, and you can really set the appointments for sellers. Kind of, you got a little bit more wiggle room where you can set an appointment for a potential seller versus a buyer that needs to go like quick, fast, and in a hurry. Right. So, or you establish the times when you will be able to take your buyers out, and you have to kind of let them know that. Another thing that I used to do when I was part-time is when I couldn't, I had to work doing certain hours. So what I would do is I partnered up with other realtors. Let's say if I was on a night shift and somebody else was on a day shift, man, bro, look, I see you on this shift, I'm on that shift. I don't want to lose this customer, right? You could either refer the business out or you both work the deal together. And then, based on like getting them under contract, maybe you pay that person a fee once the deal closes, or you do, some type of referral fee between you all, and both of you kind of work the deal, depending on how much time and effort someone put into it. Like, you got to kind of get creative when you don't have the time. You got to find ways to leverage. So again, that would be another great thing to do as far as connecting with other realtors that are local that may have a different time availability than you, right? That may be something there. But before we jump into anything, Sophia, I want you to tell your story about how you just came across a buyer, if you can.
Oh, okay. It was similar to Charm, actually. Um, Linked up with my mentor, which she's, I love everything about her. So she invited me to some showings that she had, so I could get a feel of, how to do showings and things like that. So I didn't know that the lady walked up off the street. I didn't know that she did that. So, she looking, I'm talking to her or whatever. So I'm shadowing. So I'm not really saying much, but I'm having conversations, talking about the rooms or whatever. And then she was like, "Oh man, my phone is dying. So I can't even take pictures like that." So I was like, "Okay, well, you can use my phone." So I was like, "And I could just send them to you."
Yep.
So that's how it happened. So she took the pictures or whatever, and then my mentor was talking to her. That's kind of how I kind of realized, like, oh, she's not even working with nobody, because I thought it was her client. I thought she was her client. And then that's when she was like, "Oh, well, send me the number." I was like, "Okay, well, give me your phone number." And
Yep.
so she gave it to me. I sent it to her. So I mean, I was like, I'm gonna give her, I did, out of respect, that that is my mentor. She was showing her, like, showing the house. I didn't say nothing right then, because I didn't want to look at it like, oh, she coming up in here, oh, okay, you got it, like, okay, so what I'm showing you for, I did want to learn. That's what I was there for. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna give her a little while to see if she do call her, because she did give her a card. And, I did check on her today. I asked her, like, how's everything going? And then that's when I was like, okay, because I can't forget, like, at the end of the day, just because she was present, that doesn't mean that she wouldn't rather work with me than her. So I did want to put myself out there. And I did tell her today, I sent her my card. She was like, "Oh, wow, I wouldn't even have known." And I explained it to her. I was like, "No, I was at her showing out of respect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let her, and she was like, I respect that, and that, I felt like that, told her something about me as a person. Like, I'm honest, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just out here doing no sneaky, shaky business,
Right.
even though I had the opportunity, some agents in my shoes that were probably with more experience would be like, oh, it's a cutthroat moment at this point, and it's okay because she's not under contract.
Yeah.
So,
And can I say this too? It's a
mhm,
it's a it's a cutthroat moment, right? It's two ways to look at that. One,
mhm,
someone could be the one trying to cut someone else out, or that person could be cutting themselves out, right? Because, in all respect to your mentor, great person, and all of that, doing great for you and everything like that. But carpe diem, there was an opportunity for her to seize that moment. You even gave the rite of passage, you know, and said, hey, I'm going to put the brakes on. But by her not following up with that potential client, either she's too busy or she didn't, you know, didn't want to or forgot or whatever, she really dismissed herself. You just a little bit more hungry, like, okay, well, I'm waiting. I'm gonna give the chance out of respect, but okay, now I'm gonna reach out and see if this lady can use my assistance.
Well, she did tell me that she called her because she gave her her card. So she did tell me she called her. I did kind of want to see where that went.
Mhm.
But I think where it kind of put my mentor at a halt is because she did explain that her lender, she had something on her credit that the lender said that she had to get removed before he approved the loan. So I said, okay, so that's, you know, that could have probably been where she lost the ad. Like, okay, well, when you get that taken care of, you know, call me back. But, you know, I do credit repair. So it was like I was able to promote my other business at the same time, which I'm like, okay, you're still not with the agent. So if I'm helping you now, more than likely I'm building up the rapport where you will, you know, when you are ready to look, you know, really ready to seal the deal, you'll do it with me.
Absolutely. So look, you just hit on another key piece. If time is money, we talk to someone and they can't move forward right now, and we let them go about their business and say, come back later, then you just lost time and you just lost money, right? Keep your clients close to you. So yes, Sophia does credit repair, right? But even if Sophia did not do credit repair, right? The other realtor, your mentor, actually should have a credit repair team that she refers people to. It should have been immediately like, okay, your lender told you need to remove that from your credit. Okay, sounds like a negative item. Okay, do you have a credit repair person that you're working with? If not, I can recommend one. And then she said, no, I don't have one. And then boom, she should have said, okay, I'm going to connect you with this person right here. Keeping and building a separate pipeline to make sure that that customer gets over the finish line. Now, you can't work with her right now, but you keep prospecting. And then 3 months, 6 months later, she's ready. Credit repair person kicks her back to you and say, hey, remember that lady you sent me? She's ready now. Because it's gonna happen that way, right? The lady is still, even though she not working with anybody on credit. This is like so much of a perfect example right here. She's not working with someone to fix her credit. The lender has denied her, but she's so motivated to buy a home, she's still out looking. It's gonna happen all the time. You tell a client they're not ready, they're not gonna stop jumping on Realtor.com. They're gonna keep looking, right? Because they want it so bad. So they're gonna come across somebody else that says, hey, well, look, have you tried this? That wants to put a little bit more energy into them. Have you tried this? I can connect you with this person, right? And they're gonna say, okay, yes, that's what I'm looking for. Somebody that can help me to do what I gotta do, because I'm looking at these houses, I'm getting frustrated, I can't get them, I got stuff in my credit. Nobody told me what to do yet, but you came along and you took a little bit more time with me and connected me. See, sometimes people won't connect. They won't connect people with other people in the business or with the resources because they haven't made the connection for themselves as agents. That could be it too. So not only, Sophia, would I, of course, help her with her credit repair, but I would also ask the mentor and let the mentor know if you haven't already done it, and I'm pretty sure you have. Hey, I do credit repair as well. What do you do with your clients that need credit repair? All right, what do you do with them? So now you're the go-to for your mentor, right? You just elevated the mentor's game. right? So the moral of the story, and I'll ask Sophia to tell her story because Sharma Lee just told her story. Both of you, and Sophia said it, there is a piece that's in common, right? Jalen, what's the piece that's in common between both of their stories?
I feel like they correlation with that. You talking about Charm and Sophia?
Yep, they found buyers, potential buyers. What's the similarity? How did they find them?
One, like I felt like Charm said it was like spontaneous of her to, go out and prospect. And with Sophia, she put herself out there to like took the initiative to put
Can I say this? What the word that you use for both? You said out, 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 right? Out,
Yeah.
right? You gotta get out the house. like that's one way. That's one way of prospecting. Get out the house. Get out the house. Be moving.
I
Right?
actually like that Sophia's mentor took her out on her personal showing. I think that's a great experience and a great initiative to take. Because truthfully, when I went out, I don't even have my business card, and everyone kept asking me for my business card. I was like, "Can I send you my virtual card?" Right? But I love the experience that you're having, Sophia, with your mentor, because my experience is not the best. But I say that to say, when you have that mentorship that you're in agreement with, I think that goes a far way too.
Yeah, yeah. And we working on that, Charm. We're gonna get you switched out. Soon as I hear something like, all right, we're gonna work on it, and that's already in play.
Yeah,
So
can I just say something really
mhm.
quick? Honestly, I mean, yeah, like just like what you said, that does play a valid part. But like honestly, I wanted Aziz to be my mentor. Like I put him down.
I did
You
too.
know, yeah, like, oh, I already got my mentor. What's up? What happened? Like, but I was like, all right. So when they gave me my mentor or whatever, and I seen her, I'm like, not really what I expected. I mean, I immediately went to her Facebook. I'm running everything because I did know I had the opportunity to switch out. But I guess it was because she teaches at the real estate school. I was like, well, hold up. Like despite okay, yeah, I probably wouldn't just pick her out the bunch, but she's a teacher. She obviously got some extra, knowledge, so I went into it with an open mind, and it was like, I came from Keller Williams coming in with I had my license since September. I had no sales, when I came over to EXP, and I had to thank Aziz again because I only been in it for 2 weeks, and it's like I already got like 2 potential clients, like already sent my first contract out last night to get signed. So it was like, dang, it's like it's here, like definitely it's here, and like that, it is important to have somebody that you could bond with, relate with. Like she got us all in group chats. I could call her, I could text her, like, it's good. It's like, I look at her like that's my homie. Like, yeah, I need something. I could just, like it just the support is everything.
Who else did that too? Jackie. Jackie is on our team, Jackie Plunkett. So Jackie was like, Aziz, I want you to be my mentor. I checked I checked the Facebook page and she wasn't like a rock star. I want a rock star. And I'm like, you know what? You don't really need a rock star. You don't really want a rock star because a rock star agent is going to be so busy they won't have time for you. And you don't really want that, right? Now, they might not be the greatest. Some of the mentors may not be the greatest on social media promoting and all of that, right? But that's okay. You want somebody that can be there when you call them. You want somebody that can, go over the contracts with you, take you out on showings, you can shadow, etc. Like that's what you really want.
Actually call you and not set up a meeting, and you sit there waiting minutes and they don't show up.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
That's,
make empty promises.
yeah, because you got the rock star and they got the certain look and all of that and the swag. They might be way too busy, for them to really give you that attention. So when it comes to like that mentorship, you really don't want the person that's closing necessarily, 50, 60 deals a year. You want the person that's like, hey, I know how this business works. I can close a solid 20. I'm not putting all my effort into closing deals. I'm mentoring and I'm still working the business at the same time.
Is
So,
it true? Damon said that he gonna send me a list of mentors and I get to choose my mentor, like call people to like feel people vibes out and then choose from there. Is that true? Or do they just assign me one?
typically they're assigned, but if Damon says he has a list, Damon is a connection in the company too, right? So that's why I got like all of you all should have the notes that I sent you when I said save the notes. Damon's and John's information is in those notes. They are resources. Use them. Everything that I sent y'all in the notes is not for no reason. This is not something that I just pulled and said, oh, I'm gonna send this to everybody that come in. No, these are resources. These are like tools and things that I use when I come into EXP, or when I came into EXP and I was lost and I was confused because it was so much stuff, right? Man, and when I saw something, I said, man, somebody else will want that. Somebody else will want that. Like I try to like pave that way, and you guys just boom, just tap into it. Yep. So if he said he got a list for you, man, grab the list. And everybody can go and just set up a Calendly link. I mean, he's got a Calendly link. So, and John has one too. And you can just pick a time that works for you, and you'll automatically set up an appointment with him. Okay. So yeah, thank you, Jalen, for sharing that piece right there, man, because that's major. Yeah. So one way of is just getting out there. I've had several people come up to me. I've doing showings and people have come up to me and I've end up selling them homes, etc. So yeah, being out and about works. Okay. We talked about the lead gen. Look, out and about means, it might mean not necessarily you having a showing to go to, or you going out with a mentor, but it might mean scheduling something on the MLS and going to the property so that you can just get some selfie video content of you just out and about, because that's going to be good for social media as well. And somebody may or may pop up while you're at the house, but you're not going there looking for that, right? But just being out and about at properties is good for content and good for you being out there. Sharm, I saw you on mic. Did you have a question?
I did, but it might be a silly question. I was gonna ask if you can schedule a showing, or to go see a property without a client.
Absolutely. You absolutely can. It might feel a little weird, but think about it. You might have a out-of-town buyer, right? That's relocated. That one, how many times I've gone to showings and went did a Facebook live video chat with someone, and guided, use my camera phone to just go around and show them the property. Or they couldn't do the live and I video recorded and then sent it to them through, like, yeah, you can definitely do that. Yeah. Now, some properties will require you to, set up a showing with the listing agent, and they might ask you like, hey, can you send over a pre-approval letter? But that might be typically like the more expensive properties, the higher end listings. But regular listings, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600,000, far and in between. Like you can just set them up on showing time, right? Here we use showing time Not sure about other states, but that's, you know, that portal where you can just, you know, set up your appointments. Yeah. We lost Charm. She might pop back on. Okay, so that's one way. One of the most effective ways to prospect is you know, a lot of people do cold calling, especially for sellers. I'm not really a cold caller, but I will do it, and I have done it, right? But social media is the best way to get in front of people. Utilizing your Facebook, utilizing LinkedIn, right? So what does your buyer look like? You're going after buyers. What does your buyer look like? So has anybody gotten to the point, you know, I know Ambria is on a call, so I would like to have Ambria talk about that, but maybe Sophia, have you gotten to the point where you have identified your client? And who do you see as your client? Have you identified that?
I feel like I'm still learning, but I noticed that I take the fact that a lot of people are out, if you're making posts that, oh, rent is too high, if you put in stuff like that, or prices, like, I think I get a lot of feedback from stating facts. Like, I put a post up the other day about, I think I said something about the credit scores. I put the credit scores and what a loan would look like, and people started hitting. It's like, yo, I've been saying I'm in real estate all this time, but it took me to put, and it's how you word it. Like, I was like, oh, you could get a loan with 580. Oh, this what y'all been waiting for, right? It's how you word it, you know, because yeah, a lot of my clients or a lot of my Facebook people are from Jersey, New York, PA, you know, so you can't really come at them with, oh, hey, you know, like, you gotta be aggressive. Like, you really can't sugarcoat nothing. Like, you just gotta tell it like it is, you know, and I mean, but I turn it, because I lived in South Carolina, Jersey, and, you know, I'm in PA now. So it's like I adapt to a lot of people. Like, I could, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Like, I could turn it on, turn it off. Like, it just depends.
So Sharma Lee, I asked the question to Sophia about, you know, what does your audience look like, right? And Sophia was just basically saying how she addresses her audience, people that, you know, are on her Facebook page. She knows kind of how they talk, etc. That's like, what does your music sound like? Like, how do you talk to the individuals that are on your page, right? Which is a little bit different from knowing who you want your audience to be. So you're talking about the audience that you currently have. Now the next question is the audience that you currently have going to remain your audience, or do you want to create and build a new audience that looks different, right? So that's going to be the other piece that I want you to think about right there. And then Ambria, I saw Ambria had her hand raised. If you still got time to talk, Amber.
Hey, yes, I just sent my last email.
Okay.
So yeah, my target audience, which is like, I'm still like figuring that out, or more so pinpointing what my audience is. And I believe my audience are people who are within the age range of like 18 to like 35, right? And I'm kind of targeting people who kind of just graduated, or who are currently renting, or who are staying with their parents and are looking to purchase their own property. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. Perfect. So see, that's a slight difference. So like Ambria is like, okay, this is my target audience. This is what I'm going to be targeting. Sophia was like, okay, this is the audience that I have right now, and this is how I need to address them to get their attention. So two things that so closely correlated, but they're completely different at the same time, right? So yes, you want to understand who is your target audience, because it's going to determine what you post. It's going to determine the houses that you show when you're out and you're doing live video and stuff showing that you're out, etc. It's going to determine maybe even the open houses that you reach out to other realtors to ask them, can you do? Like, all of that is going to play a part. And then it's like, okay, how do you continue to communicate with these people, right? And like Sophia said, education, like the educational piece, informing people, making them smarter, dropping tips on them, right? And talking to them in a way that they see that you're real, right? So I do some stuff that's going to look really professional, but then I do some stuff that's like, hey, I'm a regular human being person, right? So Ambria's got some really professional content, but then Ambria is also posting like, hey, I'm at the gym, I'm doing this, right? Like, she's got some TikToks. And actually, Ambria, I want you to at some point, I want you to do a training on TikToks for the team, because that would be valuable.
Yes, please.
Oh wow. Well, yeah, I'd love to. I enjoy making the reels. So yeah, I'd love to. Just let me know when. Weekends would work best for me, but I'd love to help you out with that.
Okay, awesome. Appreciate that. Okay, and then the other part of knowing your audience, or like I would say targeting your audience, is the type of individuals that you are friend requesting as well, right? You want that to look like the audience that you're targeting. And then once you start targeting these people, and now you have the friend requests going, and now you're making friends and all of that, and using all platforms, right? Because Sharma Lee, you're going to be busy with the kids, right? At what point? That's the point where you're like, okay, I need the prospect, right? And you could do cold calling, but that might be hard to even do cold calling because you got noise in the background. Social media, right? It's just text message, send a video, etc. So then what I would start doing is, all of these individuals that I'm targeting, my audience that I'm targeting, I'm now in the DMs. I'm prospecting. I'm making a selfie video saying who I am, what I'm about, and how I can help them. And then that's when Sophia comes in, and Sophia is like, well, I want to talk to my audience this type of way. I need to talk to my audience this type of way, right? And I would be doing a video message that I could just send out to everyone, versus having to do a different video message for everyone, or versus just having a copy paste, right? You want to get people to know, like, and trust you. You want to run your commercials, right? You are not a realtor, you are an advertising marketing agency. Does McDonald's care that their commercial came on in your living room and you're a vegan? They don't care. They don't have time to try to sort through the people that see it. What they're doing is they're looking at the overall demographics and the numbers and everything like that, but they can't pinpoint the individual. So what you're doing is you're looking at the overall picture. Where do they live? Are they potential first-time home buyers? Are there a lot of apartments in this area? What's the income in this area, etc.? Right? Like, whatever your target is, I'm looking for second-time buyers, or I'm looking for high-end listings. So I'm targeting people in this area that may want to buy another property or sell a property or whatever. So I'm targeting these type of people that are in these groups, that have this mindset, Facebook groups, etc. I'm making friends with these people. Whatever your target audience is that you want to achieve and go after, right? And then once you, identify them, now you understand the message. So that's what McDonald's does. They identify as overall. And then it's going to be, okay, we're going to make a commercial that will appeal to the masses in that area. And we're going to run this commercial here. We're going to run this commercial there. That's why you can go in different states and you see a McDonald's commercial, a Burger King commercial, or Target commercial. You say, I've never seen that Target commercial before, because you live in a different area of the world, of the city, right? And that goes to what Sophia was saying about how to speak to that audience. And then it comes down to the numbers game. How many people are you sending messages to in order to run your, how many people are seeing the McDonald's commercial? How many living rooms? So then they say placement, right? When do I want to run my ads? Do I want to run it during the Super Bowl? Do I want to run it, during the All-Star game? It's going to cost me more. It's more, but I get more eyes, right? And how many times do I run it, throughout the month, throughout the year to get so much people, right? So now you're talking about content. So after you do the introduction video to someone, you send them that, right? And look, the introduction video should ask a question. It should leave an open-ended question that they need to answer, right? Because you want dialogue. You want the back and forth, right? You looking to buy, sell, rent, right? Or do you know someone? And hey, by the way, did you know that you can buy a home with a 580 credit score? You just ask them 3 questions. They should be answering one. And then if they don't answer, you come back later down the line and you hit them with another piece of content. You don't want it to always be the same piece of content. You want to change up your content. You want to start to create a library of just content. Whether you save it in your phone, your notes, whether you send the stuff to yourself on Facebook, so it stays in your personal messenger, whether you text it to yourself on your cell phone, you want to start creating a library of content. And then you can go back and say, okay, I sent that person that one. I'm going to send them this one this time. 54 touches per year before a person recognizes you as a brand. Okay. And then, of course, open houses, networking events, etc. You got to get yourself out there somehow, some way, create dialogue, create conversations, be there to serve, care about them, like and post and engage on their post as well, and start creating your hit list. I got a hit list in my phone for people on Facebook, people on LinkedIn, people on Instagram, of people that are right there, ready to be ready, that have had dialogue back and forth with me, and we had some type of communication, which lets me know that they're on their way to the green light. And those are going to be people that I follow up with more so than the others, because everybody else, I'm just going to the letter A on my friends list, and A, send them a message. Alan, send him a message. Alex, send a message. Brian, send a message. Bob, send him. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going. Now, of course, if they're in real estate already, I got a different script that I'm going to use for them, because I'm prospecting real estate agents too. Right? And then what I got to say to top it all off is, you don't have time to be worried or scared or fearful or feeling some type of way about sending an inbox. If that's going to get in your way, it's going to be harder for you to expose yourself. Send a message, on to the next. Don't go back to see who read it. Don't go back to see who opened it, who didn't respond, right? Just go to the next. That's it. It's a commercial. McDonald's and Burger King don't feel some type of way because when they ran your commercial, they ran their commercial, you wasn't hungry. You didn't go out to buy the burger. They're not planning on you going to buy the burger as soon as you see the commercial. They planning on you going to buy the burger when you get hungry later, when you're riding through the area and you see the golden arches. You're thinking about how good and juicy the burger looked on a commercial, with the nice crispy lettuce that was bouncing around and water was splashing off of it.
And lime.
What'd you say, a lie? So look,
yeah, they be lying.
they be lying, yeah, because it'd be fake, right? It'd be
False
fake.
advertising.
It'd be false out. It'd be fake, yeah, fake food. It was paint and yeah, clear gloss put on it, and yeah, fake plastic stuff. But so yeah, that's gonna be some keys. So I want to finish it up here. That's been an hour's time. At the end of the day, just do it. Just do it. You can't say the wrong things to the right person, right? Just put yourself out there, and just experience, you know, the business. You're gonna find some things work, some things don't. Always be testing, right? Maybe it's the communication as far as reaching out to people, that definitely works. Maybe it's like you change up the way you do it, or the way you say it, or, you know, the color shirt you had that day, or like whatever you find, like, okay, this one script is working better than this script. If I say it like this, I get better results. But you got to start somewhere. You just got to prospect realtors, get into open houses. When you got open houses, door knock the neighborhoods a day, 2 days before, the day of. Hey, you want to see what your neighbor's house looks like on the inside? I'm selling it. Yeah, who? The Johnson's house. You know, right there around the corner, such and such and such. Yeah. I'm actually headed back over there now. You should stop through. What you, are you busy? You gonna be busy? Like, man, I'm going back there a couple minutes. You can meet me down there. I'll be down there to such and such time. Right? Come through. Right? You got anybody that want to move into the neighborhood? This is a perfect opportunity. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe I might check it out. All right, sounds good. Look, let me ask you a question before I go. Have you ever thought about selling? You know, the market is just ridiculously high right now. I'm pretty sure you can get a nice amount of money for this house. No, I'm not thinking about it right now. Okay, man. Yeah, you know, that happens, you know, but hey, like, things change. Would you be interested in just seeing what it's worth? I can run comps like nothing. My system, my tools are like top notch. It takes me no time to run them. Right? I got the coolest systems ever. That stuff. Man, yeah. It's that easy. Yeah. Right. Why not? All right. Send me what's your email address? Boom, take the email address. Okay. All right. Now you're on phone, man. This is my Facebook page. Are you on Facebook? Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Yeah. Man, let's connect on Facebook, right? I send you some stuff to your email, you know. I'll shoot you a Facebook message, let you know when it's ready. Cool, man. I like it. Yeah, this is me, my kids right here. Boom, boom. See, you just built the rapport. Now they know, like, and trust you. That's who people do business with. Who they know, like, and trust. How can you get them to know, like, and trust you that fast? Now you feel like old pals. I was talking to a guy the other day. His name was Salvatore. I said, Salvatore, this and this and this and this. And then I said, hey, Sal. And I said, man, I'm calling you Sal like I know you. Do they call you Sal? I said, yeah, they call me Sal. It's okay. You can call me Sal too. Right? Build the rapport. But you got to get in front of people. You got to get them on the phone. You got to talk to them. You got to connect with them. They got to see your face. They got to see how you move. They want to pick up on your energy and your vibe. And you got to transfer some emotion. Because people are emotional. They make decisions based off emotion, not necessarily all the time off facts. Right? Sophia says she dropped facts, but she said it in a way that stirred emotion. Right? All right, Sharmalee gone. I'm about to jump off too. All right, thank y'all for being here. And let's go get it.
Thank y'all. And let me know when y'all doing that TikTok one. Cause I want, that's lit.
Yeah, we're gonna set it up. All right.
Thanks, Aziz.
All right, no problem. Talk to y'all later.
Talk to you later.